Hey, what is up, guys? Earlier today, I was reading just going through all the news and stuff, and then I found out that Activision just cut about 8% of its workforce, or roughly 800 employees, and this has been causing quite a stir. And honestly, I don't blame anyone for blaming Activision because this is entirely their fault, and this should not be happening. Uh, really whatsoever. This straight up should not be acceptable. Uh, and frankly, if I were a shareholder, I would just be taking my stocks and going because this. Honestly, I don't even think this is like even business on a business level. This is acceptable, and let alone on a moral level. So what am I talking about here? So Activision cut around 800 employees, and this means they were all you know getting the boot, of course. And but the problem is right before they cut these employees, they announced that 2018 was a record year for them financially. So so this really just makes no logical sense, like whatsoever. The fact that they had one of the most successful years, if not most successful, but they're still cutting 800 people. This is just absolutely dumb and should not be happening. Like, and and one of the biggest things that makes this just terrible is the fact that Activision isn't in any financial danger whatsoever. Uh, Now, of course, having the most financially successful year means nothing if you really just only made, you know, let's say you need 2,000 that year to live. Of course, that's unrealistic, but let's just say you need $2,000 to live that year. It really doesn't make any difference. Quite frankly, doesn't really mean much if that year you only got 2,000, $10. Uh, but of course they got much more. Like they I believe they were slated to get somewhere in like 7 point something billion dollars, which is insane. So there's really no reason to be cutting these people, except just from greed. They just want to take these people's paychecks and line it in their own pockets, which is quite frankly ridiculous. And on top of that, it's not like uh, and it's just ridiculous because earlier this year they gave around $15 million to their new CFO, and uh, granted, most of it was stocks, and none of it really had any real value. I say real in quotation marks, but granted, he only got like 3, maybe 4 million of that in actual cash. But of course, that's on top of that whatever. They still gave the guy roughly 15 million though, as a welcoming gift. So if they can spend that kind of cash, it just makes no fucking sense to I have to cut 800 employees rather than just take an inconsequential pay cut. And on top of that, wasn't it like last year where the CEO, where it was confirmed that the CEO had like 306 times than the average employee salary, something like $28 million, something like that, which, like, dude, you could easily save this fucking company. So yeah, I have been seeing people trying to say that they should have just done what Iwata did, where the 3DS and Wii U launched, but nobody was buying it and all that stuff. So what they did was cut their salary, and and apparently they could cut it in half and still live comfortably. And that's in Japan, where it's like weird there. I don't know. I don't know much about Japanese culture. So let's say you're living on 14 million, dude. That's still enough for you to live off of. Like, Jesus Christ. And on a final note, I'd like to point out some arguments that I've been seeing, like this is peak capitalism or whatever, like that. This is uh, capitalism at its finest, whatever, like that. No, this is not capitalism, not even close. What this is greed. Capitalism requires competition. All right. Honestly, I don't even know what else to say at this point because this is just ridiculous. The fact that this is happening. But I do kind of want to say this last thing, and that is for any employees that are that are now out of a job. I do wish you the best of luck, and my wishes mean nothing, quite frankly. Uh, there's nothing that I can do to help you except say hey good luck, and that really means nothing. But uh, I really do hope for the best for them. So and hope they can get back on their feet because this shouldn't have happened and this is ridiculous.